what's up, VC? It's Steve again, Harmless Rebel. Do a 7 inches video. I haven't done a 7-inch video in a while. It's kind of a mix, hard rock, heavy metal. There may be some other stuff in here, but I think that's pretty much what most of this is. Some of this stuff I've had for a year plus. I'm just kind of getting around to going through this huge stack. I've still got a stack, I don't know if you can see it right there, of 7 inches. I'm just kind of going through, spinning them, and kind of putting my collection together, getting it all neat and organized. I'm doing the same thing with my CDs. I don't know if you can see it right here. Got big old stacks of CDs. As I go through, get rid of duplicates that I have, get rid of stuff I'm not really going to listen to. You know, just kind of making room. So let's just kind of jump in. This is a cool one that I picked up. A lot of these came from the same place. There's one particular store where I've been finding some really great 7 inches for the last little while. But this one is Tesla, Love Song, and I Ain't Superstitious. Tesla, I was just saw online they're doing a double live that looks pretty good. I might end up picking that up. Let's see, Poison, Your Mama Don't Dance. I can't remember what the B-side of this is. Look what the cat dragged in. I think I already have a copy of this, but this one I'm pretty sure is in better condition. But and these are just kind of in these old sleeves that I used to have. I've actually bought some really nice Blake sleeves. None of these are in Blake sleeves yet. So this one doesn't sound great, but it's still cool to have. I love Motorhead. I love everything that they've released. And I grab anything I can that I don't have. So this was the Motorhead 79 Overkill Bomber singles. And this was Record Store Day last year. These were double picture discs. And these are actually the pictures that were off of the single sleeves when they originally came out. But it's a cool little package. I love the little gatefold where it actually shows them. They just don't sound great. They're picture discs. And not the best quality picture disc, but I still really dig the whole package. So definitely will be keeping those. I may have shown this. I believe this was Record Store Day like 2 years ago. I've listened to this a bunch of times, but decided to pull it out again and just give it a spin. But this is Saxon, Princess of the Night. Two killer songs, Princess of the Night and Fire in the Sky off of Denim and Leather. This one was on clear vinyl. This was an upgrade. The copy that I have was warped. Unfortunately, the sleeve has seen better days, but this is Sing It, Shout It, and Subway Terror from Stars. Huge fan. These were off of Thank You Shopper, I think. Oh, no, from Violation. Okay. Yep. And that's on yellow vinyl. So I ordered that from a seller on Discogs and got it, and it was badly warped. There's no way he didn't know it was warped or that it was warped in shipping. And he tried to give me a bad review and blame me. Luckily, Discogs took my side on that one. But so this is one I picked up in Phoenix. I've shown this before. I just pulled it out. I got in the mood for some Rainbow. So this one is Since You've Been Gone, which is a pretty big hit for them. And then Bad Girls. These are UK. Both of these I'm about to show, I believe, are UK. Yeah. Since You've Been Gone was the hit, but I think Bad Girls is a much better song on here. And a lot of the B-sides, I don't think Bad Girls was ever released other than as a B-side. A lot of their B-sides tend to be better. Same thing here. This is Jealous Lover. Was it? No. Can't Happen Here. I think Jealous Lover, the B-side, is a much better song here. Again, the UK pressing. Definitely worth checking out, though, for both of those if you haven't heard the B-side. This right here is kind of cool. Again, I got this in Phoenix. I've shown this before, but this is the Native Blood single from Testament off of... which album was this off of? Does it say? I don't think it was Brotherhood of the Snake. I think it was... Yeah, it was the album before that. I can't remember which one it was. It doesn't matter. This one's on a light blue, like a clear baby blue vinyl. The cool thing about this, though, is the A side is the English version and the B side is the Spanish version of the same song. Sangra Nativa. I know I'm not saying that. I can't roll my R's. Next up, so this is the single that they released as part of the new Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction reissue when they did that big box and all that stuff, which, if you didn't buy that box, I saw that they're selling for dirt cheap now. I think they were close to $1,000 when they came out, and I think I saw you can get one brand new for like $300 and some odd dollars. So if you're so inclined to get that big vault, I've seen it. It's really cool. I just don't have a desire for it. And I've pretty much got all the material that's in it. It's got rings and it's got all kind of cool stuff. It's not for me. But this was the unreleased track from those sessions, "Shadow of Your Love." It's definitely not as good as the stuff on the album, so I understand why it wasn't released. And then "Move to the City," the acoustic version. If I remember correctly, "Move to the City" was a B-side from one of the singles back then. And that's on clear red vinyl. And they did really nice with the packaging. I really love the artwork here. And then I like when they do the color in the inside is also has some kind of design or color to it. Here's another one I bought in Phoenix. This song is just okay. I'm a big Corrosion of Conformity fan. I buy pretty much anything that they sell or anything that they've released. This is Your Tomorrow, parts 1 and 2. They're both just okay. Not great. This is on a opaque, I don't even know what you would call that, but it's an opaque blue. But I do like the artwork and the packaging. Next up, so I love this. This is Raven and Udo. On the A side, it's Born to Be Wild. Raven and Udo should not be doing Born to Be Wild. It's cool to have. It's not a great song. The B side was much better. The B side is Inquisitor, which is a great song. It's just a cool, and this picture disc actually sounds pretty good for a picture disc from 1983. Definitely worth having though, and definitely very cool. From two favorites. Let's see, got a little bit of Kicks. Let's see, we should be able to make it through this. Kicks, Get It While It's Hot. That was probably their biggest radio hit, if I remember correctly. And then Don't Close Your Eyes. These are both great songs. Very cool to have found this one. This was just on the black. Another upgrade. I've got multiple copies of this. This is by far the jacket's in the best condition of any of them. But this is New York Groove and Snowblind. Two killer songs off of the Kiss Ace Frehley album. This was a cool one. I would like to find this in a little better sleeve, but I really like the artwork for this. This is Angel, and what was the B-side? Girl Keeps Coming Apart off of Permanent Vacation. Angel was one of the hits off of there. Very cool to run across. I had never seen that before, so... next up, this one I was kind of disappointed by because it's not what I thought it was. So Splattered Records has been doing some pretty killer stuff. Actually, let me pull out the other one and I'll give you a really good example of what. But Splattered Records has been re-releasing some of the really big new wave of British heavy metal singles. The ones that are really hard to find. Some of them are in the thousands of dollars. And it's really cool. And I actually thought that this was the Overdose from the early 80s. It's not. It's a new band. This was recorded in 2019. It's still pretty good. It's just not what I was expecting it to be. Just on black vinyl. Very Motorheady. What else? It was Motorhead mixed with something else. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's still good. It's just not what I was expecting. Still worth picking up for the $4 or $5, whatever it was. So this is the stuff that really has me impressed by Splattered. They're releasing this. They've released this one already. I think they've done 4 of the harder to find new wave British heavy metal 7 inches. The next one coming out, and it hasn't been released yet, is going to be the Satan, which goes for crazy money, as does this one. This is Buried Alive and Blitzkrieg from Blitzkrieg. 2 phenomenal songs, and this is one of the 7 inches to have from this period. This is so good. Now they do a copy on gold. I love the way they kind of play on the neat records with a thumbs down. I thought that was kind of cool. But Splatter just doing some cool stuff, and I highly recommend you check out their website. And if you're into this stuff, that's the place to go to get it. Next up, one of my favorite bands right now, and two new bands I was introduced to. But this is Sea of Dreams from Haunt, and the B-side is The Crystal Temple from Seven Sisters. I believe these are already sold out, but if you can find them, I highly recommend grabbing them. The Haunt stuff sells out real quick. They just released a demos cassette, and I checked it the day that I got the email that it was released, and by the time I got to their website, like an hour later, they were already sold out. They only pressed 100 of them. So hopefully they end up putting that one out on vinyl. But very nice splatter there. Very cool 7-inch. And the same day, this one was also released. This is A Fool's Paradise from Haunt, and On the Streets Again from Fortress. I really dig both Seven Sisters and Fortress, and I'll be on the lookout for their albums. Again, really cool artwork there. And then that one's on like a red and gray splatter. Next up, a little bit more Motorhead, playing the Ramones. He was a huge Ramones fan. We got Rockaway Beach. This was the same record store day as the picture discs. And then RAMONES live at Wacken 2006. And this one is on purple opaque vinyl. Nice custom label there. Next up, a little bit of Accept This Free. This is also one promo that I picked up in Phoenix. It looks like it's in pretty nice shape, but whoever owned it played the shit out of it. It looks super clean, but when you play it, it's rough. It's been played down to the bone. Let's see, a couple more. Henry Rollins and the Hard-Ons. The Hard-Ons, if I remember correctly, are an Australian band. More of a 90s style punk band. And this is Henry Rollins on vocals. Still really good. I remember really digging the Hard-Ons back in the early 90s. But there you go. I remember what this was. No, this was on black vinyl. I can't remember what year this. I want to say this was from the early 90s, 91 or 92, something like that. This one's very cool. This is Nuclear Blast Promo EP number 2. This was sent to me by Brother Scott. Is this a black? No, this is a clear. So he's got both copies now. They released it in clear and black. He ended up getting 2 copies on the clear vinyl. Gave me one, and then he also ended up getting a copy on black vinyl as well. But this has Benediction, Mortification, Gorefest, and Macabre. Really killer little EP or comp, whatever you want to call it. In Flames is, that whole album, Scrolls of the Megaloth, is amazing. And Falls from Gorefest was the first Gorefest that I got into, and I really loved that album when it came out. And that is on clear vinyl. And then last but not least, man, under 15 minutes, that's what I'm talking about. Last but not least, Typo Negative and Trivium doing I Don't Want to Be Me. Killer Typo Negative song. The Trivium version's pretty good too, but it just you just don't beat Peter Steele. This was Record Store Day 2018, maybe? A couple Record Store days ago. So that's it, guys. I'll have something else soon. I've actually got a couple heavy metal videos. I did a country video recently, and I know everybody's been bugging for some heavy metal, so I'll get those up soon too. I don't know if you can even hear it in the background. We're listening to Vacation from Hell from Rapture. If you're a follower of Scott Waters, he sent out to just about everybody in the VC a copy of the Moshketeers first album. Well, the Moshketeers were originally called Rapture, and this is all their Rapture demos, and then the Moshketeers stuff that was not released as well. Disc 1 is pretty rough demos. Disc 2 is really where it's at. That's when you start getting to the late 80s and the stuff that I actually like the most. But still a really killer collection, and definitely worth picking that up. That's it, VC. Take care, and I'll see you soon.